Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jae Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Dr. Jae Ebot-Bish, the founder of JE Consulting Ventures, also known as the Career Elevation Academy. Jane brings a powerful blend of expertise with a PhD, experience working with organizations like USAID and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and a passion for helping ambitious professionals, especially women, align their careers with their financial, physical, and emotional goals. Based in Washington, D.C., the Career Elevation Academy, founded around 2023, is transforming how high achievers navigate their careers through science-backed coaching. So we'll be exploring her founding journey, how her business empowers clients to overcome burnout and career stagnation, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So let's dive right in. Jane, welcome to Founders Future.
Hi, so glad to be here, Jay. Thanks for
And
having me.
truly a pleasure having you on. I mean, so much that you're doing, so I can't wait to dive in. So,
Yeah.
really, let's start at the top. I would love for our listeners to hear about the beginning, right? What specific problem in the career landscape really inspired you to start JE Consulting Ventures?
I think most things are just going to start with you crashing and burning. So for me, I have been a health demographer. I've been in global health. I've been a corporate girly for many years, and I could walk the walk, I could talk the talk, and I dressed exactly like a corporate girly. But I was so unhappy. I was so overwhelmed. And it came to the point where my body was not only like literally screaming at me, right? Because on paper, everything looked great, right? I had the career, I had the money, I had the corner office, but I was just drowning. I was having panic attacks all the time. And one day my body literally just gave out. And it was in the time span of a month that I almost died, one of my sons almost died, and my husband almost died. And as I was literally bleeding to death, I remember saying, what was this all for? And it was in that moment that I decided that I was no longer going to be chasing after a silly, just like ladder up that wasn't defined or described for me, and that I was going to turn my career around. And I did that, right? And I did it all on my own terms. And then I said, wow, I got to share this with other women so they don't, I want to collapse timelines for other women. And so that's what I did. And that's how I was able to create JE Consulting Ventures, which then was able to spin off into the Career Elevation Academy. So yeah, that's what I do. Collapsing timelines for other professional women so that they can learn and earn on their own terms.
And first and foremost, just so powerful and beautiful, and just goes to show where everybody is at different points in their life and how you can be at the top, and so many people can work to that.
Yeah.
Still, there's so many factors that come into play.
Yeah.
Where look what happened with you, and luckily everything ended up working out beautifully because look at where you are now. So I do want to ask: Is it so? Do you rather it go by JE Consulting Ventures, or which do you prefer it go by now?
I prefer to go by the Career Elevation Academy because really that is what I'm focusing on.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So with that,
Yeah.
let's talk a bit about the nuts and bolts of Career
Yep.
Elevation Academy, especially for our listeners, who a lot of our listeners can end up coming and working with you, especially with how powerful and knowledgeable and just passionate you are about what you're doing. So how are you really generating revenue today with Career Elevation Academy? What is the core offer there, and how is it structured for your clients when they come to you?
Absolutely. So I would say my main core offer is just working one-on-one with clients, right? I know that many other coaches have different systems and structures and offers. I just say keep it simple, right? So I'm either going to work one-on-one with a client in a 3 or 6 month period, or I'm going to do an intensive, right? And that's more like 90 minutes. You need some one little singular thing done now. Okay, intensive. But if you're really ready for transformative change. If you're like, I am really looking at my overall career strategy, and in 3 to 6 months, I want to be in that role, right? I want to completely pivot what it is that I'm doing, then that one-on-one coaching, that is where it's at. So those are the two main offers within the Career Elevation Academy. Because what you see right now, Jay, is very honestly, folks are tired of just somebody selling them a checklist or a blueprint. Folks need an even deeper connection with a coach. Folks want somebody who they can trust because by going through this journey, most individuals are going to think, oh, Jane is going to help me make at least 30% more in my next offer, right? So they're tangibles. You're going to have a completely revamped professional brand, all of the assets that you need. You're going to level up in all the things that you need in order to be in that career, in that role, in that job that you want to live the life that you want, right? But along the way, you're going to have to work on some things related to mindset. You're going to have to work on some things related to why are you giving all of your weekends to your job? You're going to have to unpack that so that you're not doing the same nonsense in the next job.
Exactly.
That's why one-on-one is so powerful because you can unpack those things with me.
Love it. I love it. So really that's the main focus there is really
Yeah.
being able to provide that quality to your clients who you're working with. So
Yeah.
talk to us a bit then, Jane. What's
Mhm.
working best for you now on getting new clients, that acquisition side, whether it is referrals, word of mouth, or you're running ads, social media, organic outreach? What does that look like for us?
So I am doing a lot of organic outreach, word of mouth, and also getting out, literally boots on the ground. So I think we are transitioning out of just being, and eventually, sure, I might be able to run ads, but I think we're getting into a place where, in order to do marketing and sales, you need to go back to the door-to-door salesman, right? Like back in the day when folks used to come around with either a phone book or literally, as I said, door to door.
Yeah.
I feel as if we're transitioning back into that as a reality. So that's what I'm doing. It takes you a little bit out of your comfort zone, absolutely, but it once again builds on the trust and the fact that you're showing up from a place of integrity. So once again, I'm doing a lot of organic outreach. That's how I'm getting most of my clients. Organic outreach, having clients that have worked with me reach out to their networks and see, hey, right now, who's looking for X, Y, and Z, or who's ready for X type of transformation? And then definitely just boots on the ground.
Love that. With that being said, really sounds like you're doing a lot on your own. So as far as the sales process, are you just solopreneuring it right now? Do you have a sales team or marketing team, or is it just the Dr. Jane show right now?
Right now, it is the Dr. Jane show. And
I love it.
that, yeah, and initially, that's, I think for most people, that's how you have to do it until you're more comfortable because I don't want to hand everything off. I might be a Capricorn, right? So, as a toxic Capricorn, we do being in control, but I'm also reasonable enough to know that when there does come a time, right, where I am feeling overwhelmed, where my nervous system is just fritzing, and when I can honestly say, I don't know this, or I don't know what I don't know, then yes, I will be more than willing and able and capable to hand it off to somebody. But for right now, as I'm still growing, I still know that I am in my lane, and my lane right now so far feels comfortable in doing the sales side of my business.
Absolutely love that. So, I mean, with that being said, and just having the
Mhm.
full picture now, the
Yeah,
one-on-one coaching is really the main focus for you. That's where you can really provide the most value, the
yeah,
Dr. Jane experience, and
yeah.
then having that side of bringing new clients in and knowing you're running it on your own. What do you think about daily or just right now for a bottleneck to growing, whether that's quality lead generation consistently or converting those leads into clients or delivering those packages with the fulfillment being that you're on your own? What do you think about on that front?
Oh man, it is. I think it's a good question. It would definitely have to be bringing in more quality leads, right? Because, and also just genuinely speaking, doing that consistent follow-up. Because what I'm also noticing is that whereas in the past, I could have done, I could have sent out a message, and then that would directly lead to somebody booking a clarity and fit call, a discovery call. Because I'm not going to go back and forth in the DMs just like continuously, right? I'm not going to do that. In the past, I would be like, "Here, book this," and then they would book that. Now folks need quite a few more messages.
Mm,
And folks need me to be able to answer some questions that they have in the DM, in the message, to be able to build that trust. So, right, so whereas maybe it might have taken one message or two to then move you along the funnel, it's going to take a few more messages and it's going to take me giving you a lot more valuable information, a few more resources, a few more lead magnets for you to be able to then book that call. So that's also time, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say.
I love it. I love it. Talk to us a bit now then, Jane. What are you picturing? What does
Mm,
the rest of 2025 look like for you? How are you looking at that? How are you looking at growth and scale for the rest of this year, especially with some of the challenges you're having? How are you
yeah.
approaching those? Whether you have any specific revenue targets or impact
Yeah.
goals, or really just how do you see that in your mind for the rest of the year?
That's a good question. So for the rest of the year, I'm honestly focusing on getting a little bit off of
Mm,
being online.
mm,
And what I mean by that is it is quite clear that my community, as I said, I'm coaching professional women, right? And at this time in 2025, they want to meet and gather more in person. So just within my community here in Tampa, I'm having more in-person events, whether that's just meeting at a coffee shop with a bunch of the moms in my neighborhood Facebook group
mm,
and have them just ask me questions on resume, on cover letter, on leadership, on
mm,
professional development, on networking, on interviewing. So I'm going to do so. Part of the rest of my 2025 looks like getting more out there within my community. Part of my 2025 also includes getting better
mm.
at following up and following through with so much of my outreach, right? So sending out messages, making sure that I'm following up on those messages in a timely manner. And also, therefore, with that, being able to close on clients, making sure that, right? So if for, let's see, it's May, time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, like being right now Q2, so being able to bring in at least 3 to 4 new clients every quarter.
Mm,
Doing that, though, takes a little bit more just like boots on the ground. So that's really what my focus is, but doing it in a way where I do not burn out. Because doing one-on-one coaching, right, does take a lot.
it
So
does.
being able to do that in a way where I'm being consistent with my outreach, being consistent with my events, but just not burning out.
Absolutely. It's just so incredible the way that you're looking at it and understanding how important it is to have that in-person connection and that human touch and bringing you to the
Yeah.
forefront to provide that quality. It's just incredible hearing how you're thinking through that. So I just have one more quick question for you before going into the lightning round here, Jane.
Okay.
And that's going to be, where do you see the career coaching industry as a whole and its evolution in the coming years? And how are you really positioning the Career
Mhm.
Elevation Academy to on the forefront of that evolution?
That is such a good question. I this is me choosing violence.
Yeah.
I believe that the career coaching space is going to have to embrace AI, honestly. So a lot of career coaches will say, "Oh, you know what? No, don't run your resume through AI." And I say, "Look, Everybody is at different stages, and AI is a tool. It's a powerful tool, and it's a tool that can also be used for information. But does it take away from the fact that a real human being can help? Like, I have the scrapes, I have the nosebleeds, I have the silly tattoos, all of them about the struggles of being on your own career journey. And I was able to, and I've come out of that. So AI is not going to be able to tell you how to all of a sudden negotiate for a new salary or raise when you're on the Stairmaster, which is what I've had to do with a client. They were on the Stairmaster, they put the new job on hold, quickly called me and was like, and just like huffing and puffing. And I was like, step one, get off of the
Yeah,
Stairmaster.
you shouldn't
So
be there.
I was like, I'm a lifting girly. So I was like, get off of the Stairmaster. But yes, I was like, we need to realize that you can use AI as a powerful tool as a career coach, embrace it as a tool for information. But remember, everything, the heart, the blood, the sweat, the tears comes from you, the coach. So I think that's going to be one change in the coaching industry. I think that the other thing that is going to be a change is I just had it like at the tip of my, it's just, I literally just had it in my head and then it just went
It was the
away.
Stairmaster. The Stairmaster threw it all.
I know the Stairmaster completely just threw me off. But yeah, I just think overwhelmingly just AI. I also think, oh, this was it. Sorry, haha. The other thing is that clients no longer just want you to make, is just to give them templates. So that's the other change. They don't want just templates. They want you to actually build some of that stuff for them. So those two things are what make the Career Elevation Academy stand out. I'm not going to poo AI. If we make a really powerful master resume and we want to come up with additional keywords or verbs for it, yeah, we're going to use ChatGPT. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I am sure there are many career coaches who will poo poo on that, but I don't care because it is a tool and it is a powerful tool. And the other thing is, you need to start building things for your clients. You need to not like, you need to be invested in their outcomes. As a coach, you are trained to not get into the mess and muck with your client. I disagree. I say roll up your sleeves, build with them, get into there, and be invested in their outcomes because there are monumental repercussions of you not putting a little bit of your blood, your sweat, your tears, your emotions into these outcomes for them. For many of them, their livelihoods are at stake, and they want to know that you feel that and that you hear that. So I think just within the industry, that needs to change. And that's what makes at least the Career Elevation Academy very different. I get in it with you. I roll up those sleeves. We're going to build together. And you can message me and you can text me because I get it. I have been there and it sucks being alone.
Yes, it does. That's just so powerful and just clear as day, the passion that you have. I feel it through the conversation. And I know that your clients feel it when you're with them. So truly a pleasure having you on. So just one last question for us here, Jane, to wrap up the show for our listeners. First thing that comes to your mind here, what is the one piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now, especially those just starting out in business or in the middle of it? What can you offer them?
Just start.
Mm,
Just start.
love it.
Just start scared. Start nervous. Like just start. Just start. You don't, I'm not always motivated to go to the gym, but I go, right? I just go. So for everybody else who's trying to start, borrow my faith
Mm.
and just start.
I absolutely love that. And I mean, it really is the key. You
Yeah.
can't get anywhere if you don't
Yeah.
start, right? It's just a beautiful way to end it there. So
Thank
with
you.
that, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Jane, truly a pleasure. Truly a
Thank
pleasure
you,
having
Jay.
you on the show. Share your incredible journey and your insights. It's clear as day. why you are where you are in life and how successful you've been and how
Thank you.
successful you continue will be. So truly a pleasure having you on, hearing your story. And to our
Thank you.
listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Career Elevation Academy at janeebot-bish.com to learn more about her aligned career method and career clarity intensives. And follow Jane on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Jane Ebot-Bish. For more resources and insights, visit closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you on the next one.